Right, welcome to this review for the new Space Marines Codex that has just come out. So in this video I'm going to do my review, and it's going to be from the angle of my Imperial Fist armies. That's what I'm interested in. I have Imperial Fists, working on them at the moment, about halfway there. And then it's interesting how the Codex has come out, and then that's going to affect now this list, possible changes and so on coming in. I'm wondering if they needed to bring out a new codex, if there's any changes, big changes that have been made, new units, but we'll see as we go through. I'm not going to cover every single entry in the codex here, it's going to be 3 hours long. I'm just going to cover it with the interest of the Imperial Fist force that I have, and possible additions or units that I'm not going to include. We'll have to see. So I've got my codex from gamingfigures.com. They do Games Workshop stuff at 15% off. You get another 5% off if your order comes to over £100. And in the UK, they have free postage on top of that as well. So that's where I got mine from. So first thing, this codex is huge. The thickness of it's almost as thick as the rule book. Would you believe? Loads of pages. Just the front end pages are actually. We're pushing on 200. Yeah, no, there are 200 pages. It's a 200-page codex, probably the biggest one there is. The artwork at the front I think it's one of my favourites. It's very, very nice indeed. Classic Ultramarines picture here, just really, really nice. And they've sort of changed the layout as well. This looks nice here as well, different to previous codexes. Just going to fly through here. Again, some lovely artwork. Photographs, paintings like this one, 5th Company Imperial Fists, very nice indeed. I think that one's new, could be wrong. Just loads of background information, really nice. That's a nice illustration, that one. Fly for all these Incubi against Ultramarines, a classic one. It's the artwork for the old codex there. Just background information, different chapters, Imperial Fists, not too much, some. Salamanders. Raven Guard. It's a nice lot of chapters with Space Marines. You can choose one ones that already exist, or you can sort of make up your own, or do one of the more obscure ones. So, if I did another Ultramarines chapter, I think I'd do something completely different. Crimson Fists I've always liked. Howling Griffins is one that I have always admired, and way back. Remember a showcase army in one of the White Dwarf magazines. Someone had painted up Howling Griffins and they look really nice. Really, really nice. I can imagine they look good. Just going to fly through this. You can see all the different illustrations here. You've got the different unit types here: captains, chaplains, tactical squads, command squads. Seems to be a feature in the new codexes here. I think there's loads of new artwork coming through. It tells you a bit of background information, story behind each unit, and then you can reflect that in how you use the unit in the game, or how you structure your entire force. There's loads and loads here. Nice illustration, that one. The inside details of the Land Raider, Legions of Damned. And you have these, which feature now in the new codex. It's just nice layout here, good reference for painting. Really good. They've done everything here. You've got Librarian here, Apocryphary, Chaplain. It's all laid out for you. Even vehicles now, they're showing you where to put all your markings on. Got everything. You have bikes. Then you've got your different chapters. Nova Marines look nice. That's the cool thing about Space Marines. You can go off and do your own chapter. Silver Skulls, that striking colour there for the shoulder pads look cool. Your Warriors look nice. There they are, Howling Griffins. I just think they're really cool. There's loads to choose from here. White Scars. Here we go, Imperial Fists. Salamanders. Raven Guard. Iron Hands, quite a popular chapter at the moment. White Scars, Stormlords look quite cool. But then there's loads to choose from. Some of the new releases here, the Assault Marines. Nice colour here they've done with these Ultramarines, not the company that is, but an orange trim. That's them on these new bigger bases. Yeah, interesting. So this is the new plastic captain in Terminator armour. Looks nice. New plastic librarian. But I mean, if this is all the new stuff there is, I mean, that's not really. You know, you wouldn't need a new codex entry for these. They existed in the previous codex anyway. I don't know that. Maybe leave it in the comments whether a new codex was really needed. I mean, even the rules for this one are in the 40k rulebook, so it's nothing. New Devastators as well. Salamanders do look nice. As Stone Guard, they're actually really cool. Right, so there's the war gear list. There, we'll flick backwards and forwards to that. I'm expecting not too many changes, really. We'll run through. We have here. So, Captain Sicarius, Stigurius, these are Ultramarine figures, so they're not going to feature in Imperial Fist army. Talion, Cassius, nice miniature that one. Kronos, one of James's favourites. Kossaro Khan, the White Scars. That's the cool thing about the main chapters is you can, there is like a specific leader for each that you can take if you want. Shrike, Hestan, Petro Cantor. Yeah, I almost collected Crimson Fists, but it was Imperial Fist in the end, and that was from a YouTube video. Someone had made an army, painted them up really nice. I thought, wow, they look really good. If I ever do Space Marines, then it would be Imperial Fist, and that's what decided it. But almost came close to doing the Crimson Fist, especially going way back to the old 40k artwork where these guys are featured. Just like the look of them. So I heard rumours that Knights, the Black Templars, would get their own codex, but they're featuring here in the regular Space Marine Codex, so it looks like they're going to be in here. Right, here's the captain. That's just a superb miniature. It's really nice. It's really that configuration there with that plume there. Beautiful looking sculpt and really nice paint job. That crest just really sets it off. So very impressed with that one. Librarian looks alright, but I think that new captain looks really nice. Tech Marine, that's why I really debated over whether putting this. I tried squeezing one in. The Thunderfire cannon was very appealing with its ability of range. A lot of subscribers were saying go for the Thunderfire cannon. You've got the range there, and you can take out targets that's missing a bit of range. So that comes later on. Tech Marine standalone, and then there's another entry for the Thunderfire cannon. Nice kind of miniature. It's tempting to put him in, but we'll come to that entry later on. Chaplain here, this is the plastic one. I do have one and plan to keep him. 90 points here, it's pretty much as he was, and then to take Terminator armor is 30 points, which is 120 points. Just really like the lead Terminator figure. 120 points. Now you get his weapon skill 5, ballistic skill 4, strength times 4, 2 wounds, initiative 4, 2 attacks, leaves you 10 and a 3+ save. It's 2+ with the Terminator armor. It's a 5+ invuln as Terminator, but it's 4+ anyway because he has the Rosarius 4+ invuln save. He's quite tough. Just bury him in a unit, And then it's the Zealot special rule that you get him for. He's going to get these rerolls in the first round of any combat. Just going to enhance that unit, and then he himself, I mean, his close combat weapon's quite cool. So the Crozius Arcana, I'll just check here to make sure it's all the same. +2 strength, AP 4, melee concussive, that's fine. Yeah. And we'll just check actually Rosarius, I'm sure it hasn't changed. There's a lot here, it's different this codex because a lot of things will probably stay the same. Yeah, Rosarius is a 4+ invuln, so there's no change there really for him. There is an upgrade, we're going to get to it later on. We'll come to it. There is a relic, chapter relic, that I've been reading through, and I'm going to try and include it in the army because I think it's superb. He may well carry it, but we'll come to it later on. Yeah, so that's HQ's done. Till it has missed actually is the librarian. So I have the regular plastic librarian. So he'll be 65 points, and then master level 2 is 25, so that's 90 points. And probably just leave him at that. And then the good thing about Space Marine librarians is the variety you get. You can take biomancy, demon knowledge, divination, pyromancy, telekinesis, telepathy, disciplines. There's loads of variety you can take. You can have multiple functions for them. I think I'm mainly using to try and enhance and protect the army that I have. So to enhance them, to push up weapon skill, ballistic skill, morale, whatever, and then also to protect us, to grant things like shrouding and those kind of things. So it's going to be a defensive sort of psychic unit, trying to protect the main army. You can use psychers in different ways, but there's so much to choose from here with these different psychic powers that you can use. But yeah, I'm going to keep him in. Nothing really changed here. 2 wounds, weapon skill 5 for him is cool, 2 attacks. And then it comes with the force weapon, so you know, he's armed pretty good as he is anyway. Just so you can hear at Captain, it's interesting because you can take he's 90 points, so you can take Chapter Master upgrade, and it just means that if you are doing your own chapter, you have got the option here of upgrading to a Chapter Master, so you can, you know, take the Chapter Master of that whatever chapter you're doing. His wounds go up to 4, and his attacks go up to 4. It's decent enough. It's very, very good indeed. And so that's 40 points there. You can customise your own leader here, and he's going to have a decent enough stat line. He's going to come with a 4+ invuln save, and he'll come with orbital strike here. So there's some new rules here. It's infinite range, strength 10, AP 1, ordnance 1, barrage, large blast. It's superb. If it scatters, then you don't modify with your ballistic skill. But you know, if you get a decent enough hit there, I can imagine that causing havoc. It's 1 shot only. Yeah, it's 1 use only, but that's decent enough. And then you've got all the different upgrades you can take. You can take Terminator armor. You can take a relic blade. This is all cool stuff. You can take artificer armor. Cool. You can take storm shields. You can pretty much do everything here. Yeah. Now, I have seen people use a Space Marine Captain with their own personalised configuration. It's been very effective. So, you know, if you're going to go down the route of doing your own chapter, I think there's more scope for it now. You can take not just a Captain, but you can now take a Chapter Master, and the stat line and the rules and the configuration, so you can do it really cool. So, that's very interesting. So going to troops here. Tactical squads are sort of the core of the Imperial Fist force. There's no change really, they're 14 points a model. And then it's pretty much, just reading through here, there's not really many changes to them. I'm quite happy with them as they are. My loadout that I go for is take a full squad of 10, and then always give them a heavy weapon. It's las cannon in this case, just it's that strength 9 AP2, the nice long range, and then I can break them down to combat squads. and then leave the little 5-man squad at the back with a las cannon, and snipe at the back whilst the others go out and move around and support other units. Whatever. There's tactical squads, I like them because they're flexible. There's depth to them. If you take 10-man squads, your opponent's got to blast through a number of them to get through to the heavy weapon, special weapon. For special weapon, I take plasma gun, just so that strength 7 AP2 I think is very valuable against vehicles, monstrous creatures, terminators and so on. So tactical squads are in. I've actually got 3 squads of them. I do on the new channel StrikingScorpion82 Plus, there is a advanced Tactica 4 tactical squads. Take an in-depth look at them on one of the videos on that channel. So tactical squads are in. I've got no reason to change. So I'm quite happy to keep those in the force. Scouts are just 11 points. Yeah, just not keen on scouts. Oh, hang on a second. This is interesting. Yeah, scouts here have been bumped up again. They've been retrained. They're weapon skill 4 and ballistic skill 4 now. I'm sure they used to be. The regular scout was just weapon skill, ballistic skill 3. So that's going to make scouts more viable now. It's so important having that extra ballistic skill. And now they have it. And they're only 11 points each. So for cheap troops, 4+ save's decent enough. They're going to carry bolt gun, bolt pistol, frag crack grenades. They've got chapter tactics, combat squads. They have infiltrate, scout, move through cover. And they're 3 points cheaper than a marine. In fact, the only difference between them and a marine, I think, is the armour save. I think scouts are a good deal now. You're paying 3 more points to get an extra bit on the armour save, but with scouts you're getting all this extra stuff. Scout, move, recover and infiltrate. Interesting. You can give them camo cloaks for 2 points. You can take squads of 10. You can take close combat weapon for 3. Sniper rifles are a point each. You can give maybe bolter for 8 points. That's interesting. Still firing out ballistic skill 4. You can take hellfire shells. You can take flak missiles on the missile launcher. You can take a veteran scout sergeant. He'll bump you up to LD9. You can take your melee weapons, ranged weapons. For him, you can take a teleport Homer. You can take a land speeder storm. Yeah. So, and I've heard people saying that expect scouts to make a comeback, and with just that little change there, I think that may well be the case, because they are not very much in points, and you get a lot of good stuff for your points value there. Crusader squad's not really relevant. It's Black Templars. Command squad, it's the old kit. Perhaps this may need a re-release at some point. They are nice models, but I imagine that's something that Games Workshop could redo and make it look really good. It's just your standard command squad there. It's nice they have a base of 2 attacks as standard. I always thought the unit itself was quite viable. So it's 90 points to get you 5 veterans. Let's just run through this one here. It's always been tempting to get a command squad. Bolt pistol, chainsword, frag and crack grenades, right and K, Nation of Fear, chapter tactics, honour or death, company champion. A model with the special rule must issue and accept a challenge. Okay, so the champion has to issue and accept challenges. You can take Space Marines standards. Right. So there's just no upgrades here. It's just flat Space Marine standards here. You can take company standard chapter banner or standard of the Emperor Ascendant. Just run through these here. Company standard for any units within 12 of a model equipped with the company standard, drawn from the same chapter. Reroll failed morale, pinning and fear tests, so pretty good. But Marines, you usually have to worry too much about morale. Chapter banner for any units within 12 of model equipped with chapter banner and drawn from the same chapter. Reroll failed morale, pinning fear test. In addition, +1 attack. Chapter banner. That's very good. And chapter banner will cost you 25 points, which isn't bad for what you're getting. It's not too bad at all. So you can upgrade to a company champion. You get power weapon combat shield, and that's 15 points. Okay. You can take an apothecary with a Narfecium, 15 points. You put them on bikes. The entire squad may take Space Marine bikes. 35 points for the whole lot. That's 5 points each to get bikes. It's extremely good. Anyone can take melter bombs. Anyone can take a storm shield. And anyone can take melee weapons, ranged weapons, special weapons. Yes, that's viable there. You really could gear them up for combat with that base of 2 attacks. Feel no pain in the unit, and then you can take any of these dedicated transports as well. So yeah, Command Squad, I can imagine you can do some really good combinations of them. Maybe leave that in the comments if you have a deadly combination, because I think there's great potential in that unit to do very well. Honour Guard, love the old miniatures. James has these old lead ones, beautiful miniatures. 85 points, just see what you get. They are, you only get 3 of them, but they're 2+ armour save. Very nice. Yeah, very good. No, they're nice as well. James has them. Nice to see him use them in the army, actually. Right, so Centurions, there's 2 ways of using them. You've got the assault-based Centurions, so you're looking at close-range weaponry, hand-to-hand combat, and then you've got the long-range Devastator Centurions. I think their points cost has come down. They're 55 points each now, so you get 3 of them. You can take an additional 3, so you can have a unit of up to 6. Which I imagine be deadly, but your points value is going to be crazy. Over 300 points if you took unit 6. They're 2+ save. They're 2 wounds. Their strength and toughness 5. So Centurions, they've grown on me. I really do like the look of them, the idea behind them, and they fit nicely into an Imperial Fist force, I think, as well. So these particular ones, you get twin linked flamer as standard, and then you get ironclad assault launchers. Just check those out. So you like frag grenades. Enemies charging model with ironclad assault launchers do not gain bonus attacks from charging unless the model is already locked in combat. Right, so it's interesting. That comes as standard. And then you get 2 siege drills, which, if I remember rightly, are utterly devastating. Yeah, they're times 2 strength, so you're on strength 10, AP 2, armor bane, and melee. 2 siege drills, they're both melee, so they'll get an extra attack. But they only come with 1 attack as standard. So the regular Terminator's going to have more attacks than these guys, only 1. Their weapons will push it up to 2. So not loads of attacks from them. They have slow and purposeful, very bulky. Decimated protocols, they can fire up to 2 weapons in the shooting phase, that's good. So they can take hurricane bolters if they want to replace their assault launchers. They can take twin link melter guns. Okay, and then you can take a Centurion veteran sergeant, and you can stick them in dedicated transport. Yeah, I can imagine they're quite devastating in the assault, but the angle I'm going from is more the sort of the devastator angle. Vanguard veterans, the new releases here from Games Workshop look very nice. So this is an elite's choice here. They are 19 points a model. If I was going to do a unit of these, I'd maybe take a unit of, try and keep them below 200 points. because your opponent's going to target them. I'll probably gear them for combat mostly instead of shooting, so would probably take no upgrades as far as shooting weapons are concerned, and then bury a few decent weapons in there. Say take a unit of 8 and then give 3 of the guys, including the sergeant, something really good like maybe Thunderhammer, Storm Shield, and then like some power weapons and so on. Yeah, you give them melter bombs, that's a good anti-tank capability there. Any model may take melter bombs. You know, it's awkward when you're allowed to take 1 melter bomb in a unit and then you get 1 roll and you miss. It's cool when all the figures can take them. You can actually give them a relic blade now. Here, that is cool. Relic blade is really good. I always like the relic blade. Just turn it up here. It's because it's +2 strength, AP3, 2-handed yet. Just a bit of extra strength comes in very handy. You don't have to take jump packs. Alright, to take jump packs, you're going to pay another 3 points. So they're 22 points a model with jump packs. You know, you'll start to feel it if they get targeted and you start losing figures, and then you really start to feel it. Points wise, so I would heavily advise that you take just some non-upgraded guys to protect sort of the other weapons inside. If you upload them all with Thunderhammers and they start getting blown away, you're going to be dropping a lot of points. It's 20 points to take a Thunderhammer, 10 points to take a Storm Shield. So the angle I'm going for Imperial Fist is sort of regular type Marines, so these more elite units don't feature as much. Right, then you've got Stern Guard, and I've always had a soft spot for them, especially the new figures coming out. Very, very nice. They look really nice as Ultramarines. I'd imagine they look really nice painted up as Imperial Fists as well. Not much change to them. They're still 22 points, and you can just take your different configurations of them. The key for these, I think, is not to change too much around. The weapons that the special issue ammunition they have is the reason why you get them, and I think that is excellent. So try and keep that, and if you do, just do combi weapons, so that you're keeping your special issue ammunition and then just giving them these upgrades, and it's not going to affect your ability to be able to fire that stuff. And then you just got your other upgrades here, but I like them. I may swap out Tactical Squad perhaps, and then try and take some Stern Guard in a drop pod. I think it'd be quite cool. They look very nice. And the cool thing about them for Imperial Fists is that the chapter tactics, the reroll of 1s, now does count for the special issue ammunition, making them just that bit better than the other Stern Guard for other chapters. Right, so then Dreadnoughts. I don't think they've really changed. They're just 100 points. And you can load them out. I'm getting the impression, the overall impression with the Codex is some things that they're dropping off 5 points, 10 points here and there. Because when I recalculated my Imperial Fist list, I had spare points, and I've been able to, on the previous list I was trying to squeeze stuff in. Now I've easily been able to fit in the last of the few units choices there. So overall I think the general cost has come down. I think these used to be 105. So just, you know, if you shave 5 points off each unit, you've got 10 units. You know, it's 50 points to play with, and it means you can, you know, it's a fair amount of points to play with. So, which is a good thing. 100 points comes with multi-melter, power fist, and built-in storm bolters. I mean, it's pretty good. Pretty good. It's affected by chapter tactics as well. And then the other upgrades here are quite cheap with the other weapons and so on. So Dreadnoughts, I do like Dreadnoughts. You can take a Venerable here as well. Just going to move over some of these because they're not in the Imperial Fist list. Ironclad, James likes to take the Ironclad. That's 135 points. I do think these have come down in cost. Legion of the Damned, nice miniatures now. 125 points for them. Standard Space Marine really, 2 attacks though as basic. Legionnaire Sergeants, weapon skill 5. Leadership 10. Fear they cause, they're fearless as well, and they're slow and purposeful, which is cool. Unyielding Spectres, the Legion of the Damned have 3+ Invuln, so that's cool. Flame projectiles, ranged attacks, have ignores cover. I think it's just going to cover every weapon they can take. Aid unlocked for. Legion of the Damned cannot be joined by independent characters. They always start the game in Deep Strike. When they do, you can choose to reroll both the 2d6 and the scatter dice. So they're reliable, sort of come to the rescue type unit. You can add more than 25 points each. They don't have Feel No Pain, which might have been a cool thing to give them. But one Legionnaire can take a special weapon. One Legionnaire can take a heavy weapon. What's interesting about the heavy weapon is remember that it will get the ignores cover special rule. So that's interesting. That might affect what weapon you choose. And the Sergeant can take chainsaw, power weapon, power fist. Yeah, I mean, if I took them, I'd try and bury a heavy weapon in there because they're slow and purposeful. Should be able to move it and fire, and it will get ignores cover. So that's probably the route that I would go down. Yeah, interesting. It's a shame, like take a flamer, but you get ignores cover anyway. You may as well try and take something else. Maybe a multi-melter or something. Terminators, I have got Terminators, and these have definitely come down in points. They're 35 points now, so a unit of 5 is now 175 points, and there's no real change for them. I've gone for regular Terminators here, and then the assault cannon is still 20 points. So now my Terminator squad is under 200 points, 195 points now. So there's some points savings with them, which is cool. Terminator assault squad, they are 175 points. Same again. What I've noticed with these now, it will cost you 10 points to replace the lightning claws with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. It still works out the same as it was originally. Originally they were 40 points plus 5. Here they're 35 points plus 10. So it's going to work out the same as what they were. But they're a better deal now if you keep the lightning claws, and they're a better deal if you just take regular Terminators. So they're in, and it's the Stormbolt shooty type that I've gone for, matching with the Imperial Fist. And I think that unit will be joined. They still cover Power Fist, they'll still be able to do well in combat, still have that 5+ Invuln, and then they can be joined by the Chaplain. Assault Squad, they've redone these. You can get the Eviscerator now, which is 25 points. I don't know if it's justified taking such an expensive weapon on a guy that's only got a base of 2 attacks. They're 14 points now for Assault Squad. They're 3 points if you want to take jump packs with them. So you've got the option now of doing foot Assault Marines that come with bolt pistol, chainsword, and they're just the regular points cost of Space Marines if you wanted to do them on foot. But I'd imagine they'd be more effective with the jump packs. That's what I have for my Blood Angels. I have Assault Marines now with jump packs for them. I'm just gonna keep going here. There's no point in just recapping the rules that haven't really changed. Scout bikes, yeah, they're now weapon skill, ballistic skill 4 as well, and they're only 18 points as well. So yeah, and they got scout, they got infiltrate. Cool. Yeah, so expect to see scouts make a comeback now. Bike squad. So we've got here then, scout bike squad. They're 21 points, so you pay a few more points, but you get that included. You get the better armour save. Just check here. Yeah, mounted assault. If unit of the special rule is chosen as part of a detachment that contains at least one independent character with Space Marines faction equipped with Space Marine bike, the unit's battlefield role changes to troops. Cool. That's really cool. So if you equip one of your independent characters with a bike, they then become troops. Does a little bit of versatility with them. It's a cool option to have. It's very, very cool actually. One of your troop slots can now be taken up by a bike squad, which is really good. You can still upgrade to an attack bike. Yes, you can. It's 40 points. Do like the attack bike. I almost went down the route for my fast option for the Imperial Fist. So close to taking bikes. It's very close indeed. They're 40 points now. Yeah, okay. Land speed of Storm, it's only 40 points for the Scouts. Could take 5 models. Can only carry Scouts. And you can replace Heavy Bolter with Multi-Melter Assault Cannon. Okay. Right, Land Speeders. Always loved the models. Really wanted them in the army. So you can take Squadrons of 3. They're 45 points. Now I'm sure they've dropped 5 points in cost. Yeah, if you take 3 of them, you can move an additional 6 and move them flat out. Okay, it's a handy option. They probably forget that rule though during the game. And then, so you've got 45 points. It comes with a Heavy Bolter. You can replace that Heavy Bolter with a Heavy Flamer for free, or you can take a Multi-Melter for 10 points. The idea behind these is to keep them away from the opponent, to give fire support from range. So Heavy Flamer, you don't want to get too close with only 2 hull points and armor 10 all round. Keep the Heavy Bolter or take a Multi-Melter. And then you can also take another Heavy Bolter or a Heavy Flamer, that's only 5 points. A Multi-Melter will cost you 15 points, or an Assault Cannon 20, or a Typhoon Missile Launcher 25. The configuration I'm liking at the moment is Typhoon Missile Launcher Multi-Melter. That does bump the points up. That will cost 45, 65, 70, 80 points for that. It's well equipped, but 80 points is a lot for a little hull point too. So, I've got to remember to keep them out of trouble, keep them away. Don't let them get killed easily, because it's quite a heavy point investment. I thought about having 2 of them upgraded well, and then just have a cheap land speeder, the 3rd member of the squadron, just with Heavy Bolters only perhaps, and then if it's just to absorb the hits, and if it dies then it's no real loss, sort of one to absorb damage before getting to the other better equipped ones. But yeah, I do like land speeders, very nice indeed. I'm going to try it. The option now, with some spare points around for the forces, is to take a full squadron of 3 of them. I think they'd be quite effective in that kind of number. Rhinos, no real change for them. 35 points for them. It can still repair. 10 models. 2 can fire from the hatch. Access points all round. So no change for that. Really, still 35 points. Razorbacks 55. It's 20 points for each of these upgrades here. No real change for that. Do like Razorbacks. Drop pod, still 35 points. I don't think the rules have changed for that either. So, right, Storm Talon Gunship. Absolutely adore the model. So, it's 110 points. Armour 11 all round, which is decent enough for a flight. It's only 2 hull points, which is, so it's not too strong, not too durable. Ballistic skill 4, twin linked assault cannon, twin linked heavy bolter, ceramite plating, so it's the same as the Storm Marine, strafing run, vectored afterburners. When zooming, a Storm Talon gunship can move an additional 6 if it moves flat out. When hovering, it receives +1 to its jink cover saves. That's superb. It's very, very good indeed. And then, so it has this ability to hover. And I'll tell you what convinced me to take these. Playing against Ultramarines in the Challenge the Scorpion game, and Rob had 2 of these. He moved them in, taking out targets, giving supporting fire. But then later on in the game, they flew up and over the top, and then ended up in my deployment zone, still giving supporting fire, but going into hover mode and sitting on objectives and just picking off units. Excellent little unit, that one. I'm going to try and take 2 of them. And then I think the option here is to take is saturation of fire. And a little cheap upgrade is to take Skyhammer missile launchers. I'm sure the overall points cost of these has dropped down Only 110, only 5 points to take the Skyhammer. And I'm just going to look it up here because the range is excellent. It's 60-inch range, strength 7, AP 4, 3 heavy 3s, so 3 shots. Very, very nice indeed. So they are a nice option for the Imperial Fist. And just to bulk out, I'm going to have quite a few vehicles in this Imperial Fist army. The option that I want to go for with the Imperial Fist is sort of overwhelming superior firepower. It's just hammering the opponent tons and tons and tons of shots. Accurate, sort of good strength, just forcing loads of saves and be able to provide fire support on the battlefield wherever. These are excellent. They're mobile, fast, good range, and can pack some nasty shooting from them. So yeah, Storm Talons like those very, very much indeed. Devastators, not a big fan of them. Just immobile. They're predictable. You deploy them, your opponent knows where they are. You can hide, or you can deal with them, or ambush them, and so on. And for me, the more exciting option is the Devastator Centurions. 55 points a model now, 165 points for 3 of them. And the Decimate Protocols, which is cool, you can fire 2 weapons in the same shooting phase. And its volume of shots that I've gone for. So the configuration that I'm looking at is to take missile launchers. Remember, these are not going to be twin links, it's just missile launchers. But that means that you've got a bit of anti-infantry there with the blast marker, or you can fire some strength 8 heavy shots of them. And then twin link las cannons is the route that I've gone down. And it ties in with the tactics, the chapter tactics for the Imperial Fists. We'll come to that a bit later on, but it's twin link las cannon, just chucking out some high strength, reliable, long range firepower. And this twin linked idea is, can possibly take shots at flyers as well. And you can put them in a transport. I think I'll stick the Librarian with these to try and grant them some kind of protection, but they're decent enough strength and toughness 5, 2 wounds, 2+ save. It's very, very good indeed. You probably have to use cover because these guys don't have an invulnerable save. So there's the Thunder Fire Cannon. We're on to, well into heavy supports now. So this is the option here. It's 100 points. Looks like you can take multiple options now, multiple Thunder Fires. Look, for every 100 points now you can take another gunner and Thunder Fire Cannon. So you can have like a battery of them, which I can imagine would be pretty cool. I imagine actually would be very effective, like 2 of them. Because you have this kind of weapon, you fire it and you miss on one turn, you've lost it. You haven't done anything. But if you have a squadron of them, one misses but the other one hits, you can. That might be better. 100 points, tough enough. The cannon's got 2 wounds, the gunner's got 2 wounds. So now I'm just wondering about bolster defences. Here's a question here. You may well tell us the answer if we check here. Bolster defences. After deployment, before scout moves and infiltrate, nominate 1 piece of terrain. No, okay. I was wondering if each tech marine gets bolster defences, and then so you could have, if you had a squadron of 3 of them, you could nominate 3 bits of terrain. But that doesn't look like you can do that. Convergent targeting. So this is your incentive to take a full squadron. Whilst the unit includes 3 Thunder Fire Cannons, all tech marine gunners in the unit have +1 ballistic skill. So that's a little freebie there if you go for 3 of them, which you may well see that's a good option. Right, so Predators. Always loved the model. James likes them. It seems they're doing these little bonuses for taking squadrons. Yeah. So you've got here, the loadout that I would go for would be the Annihilator. 75 points basic, 20 las cannons 25, so you're on 100. And then las cannons 100 and 40 it would be in total, which is, I think it's cheap enough. 140 points, armor 13 at the front. Any disadvantages if you start moving around, you're not going to be able to fire as many weapons. It's kind of find an open field of fire, go hull down, block them behind some kind of cover, get 25%, and just sit there and not panic driving about all over the place, but just sit there and use your range and just pivot and shoot and not move for the game. Kill shot. Whilst this unit includes 3 predators, all predators in the unit have monster hunter and tank hunters. Very, very nice. Yeah, so I mean, for 300 and 420 points is a fair amount, but you'll be chucking out 9 less cannon shots, 3 of which are twin linked. It's not bad. It's not bad. Whirlwinds, just not really. But I was going to say taking up slots, but now with this ability to take squadrons, suddenly heavy support, which 3 heavy supports do I choose? I don't think it's going to be a problem anymore, because you're able to bump up these squadrons here, take 1, 2, 3 of the same thing in a unit. So your options now for Space Marines for heavy support is, I mean, technically a bound army could have 9 predators in it. Yeah. So there's a lot of diversity now and flexibility with an army that you could create. Yeah, you could do 9 predators. 3 squadrons of 3. Whirlwinds, not really. It's a nice looking model. Let's have a look at their bonus here. Whilst you've got 3 whirlwinds, each model's whirlwind multiple missile launcher has pinning and shred special. So that's cool. It is cool. So expect to see Space Marine players taking these options of having a full strength units and then granting these bonuses. Line breaker bombardment for Vindicators. If the unit contains 3, then all can fire demolisher cannons. If this unit contains 3 Vindicators that can all fire demolisher cannons, the squadron can fire a single line breaker bombardment instead. To do so, nominate 1 model in the squadron as the firer. The firer's demolisher cannon changes its type from large blast to apocalyptic blast and gains ignores cover. It's fantastic. Cool, that's good. You can imagine, you expect to see that one. Because you're looking at, you could take that formation, it's like a formation almost, you could take that option and it will cost you 360 points. And the Vindicator's decent enough, again, armor 13. So, I wouldn't be surprised if you see James take that. He'll like that. Hunters. I think this is the option I'm going to go for my anti-aircraft for the Imperial Fist. Just love the model. And this weapon here is cool. 70 points. Again, you can take 3 of them. Whilst this unit includes 3 hunters, each model Sky Spear missile launcher can reroll the dice from resolving its Savant Lock special. Cool, let's have a look. 192. 210 points for some hefty anti-aircraft capability. Make the sky a no-go area. We'll just look up this weapon here. Let's just check it out. Range 60, strength 7, AP 2, but it's armor bane, Skyfire, heavy 1. If any shot from open this special rule misses a flying monstrous creature, skimmer, or jet bike. This is interesting. It's not just flyers. Now, I don't know if this was the old rule, but yeah, the missile's going to keep tracking. It misses a target, the missile goes off and it comes around again. It's like it's a Savant Lock, it homes in on the target. But even if you miss a skimmer or jet bike, roll a d6 at the start of your next friendly shooting phase. If the target unit is still on the battlefield and has not been destroyed on a 5+, the target unit suffers a hit, using its rear armor value if it is a vehicle with the above profile. Wow. You almost hope it misses then. Okay. I think though you get 1 chance at this. So you miss. On the next turn, you got a 5+ chance. Then after that, I don't think it's recurring. I don't think it continues on. 5+. Yeah. I don't know. If anyone wants to clarify that, does the missile, hang around until it does hit, or does you only get one chance of a 5+ here on the second turn? It'd be fascinating to know that. But the ability where it misses, swings around, and then will hit rear armour is superb. It's very, very good. So, and I want to make some little counters, little missile counters, put them on rods, and then just have them floating around on the battlefield. If anything, just to intimidate your opponent. To have a missile tracking him is kind of it's intimidating. Very good indeed. Stalkers then. So that's handy here. You get to re-roll this saber lock. It's cool. So Stalkers, they're 75 points, just 5 points more. Each model's, whilst the unit includes 3 of them, each model's a Kairos Storm Cannon array has ignores cover. So no jinking away from them. Very good. The only problem with these little configurations here is it's whilst you include 3 Stalkers. So the moment you lose one of them, the other 2 will then lose, they'll drop this rule. So, and you imagine your opponent, potentially saying, well, I'll just knock out one of them. And then you drop this little upgrade here, which is a shame. We'll just check out this Storm Cannon here. Yeah, it's a tough one. Maybe I'll just magnetise it up. It's range 48, not as far. Strength 7, AP4 heavy 3. Interceptor, Skyfire. Okay. When a unit that contains one or more models equipped with a Kairos Storm Cannon array shoots, choose either one or two targets. If one target is chosen, each model can re-roll failed to hit rolls. If two targets are chosen, each model is able to fire its Kairos Storm array fires it at each target, resolving all shots in the unit against the first target before moving on to the second. Right, so I think it's improved here. It used to be a very low ballistic skill if you fired them separately, but now if you fire both at the same target, you're going to get, it's basically twin linked. If you don't, if 2 targets are chosen, each model is able to fire its Kairos Storm Cannon array, fires it at each target, resolving all shots against the first target before moving on to the second. So you're going to fire a normal ballistic skill. So that's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. If you had a squadron of them, you can chuck out some decent firepower for them. So I think both of these options are cool, and they're not too expensive. So I'm definitely going to include one. Yeah, very good. Storm Raven Gunship, always liked the Storm Raven, features heavily in the Blood Angels army. It's still 200 points. Don't think there's anything changed here. No, you can carry jump infantry. Yeah, so the upgrade series is pretty much going to be as it is for the Blood Angels. Yeah, so it's decent. There's a formation now you can take for these. I'm trying to get James to take it. He's got the models for it to try and get them painted. Land Raiders. So one Land Raider here. You can take a multi-arty. You don't have the option here for squadrons of them, by the looks of it. So you've got a regular Land Raider there, Land Raider Crusader, then Land Raider Redeemer. Not much change to them. Cow Guys for the Ultramarines, he's now moved over into Lord of War. 275 points for him. Right, so formations then. Battle Demi Company, you have to take 3 tactical squads, you've got to take a captain or chaplain. You have to take an assault squad, bike squad, attack bike, unit of land speeders. Hang on a second, I might be able to do this here. Yeah, might be able to do this. Let's just see if I can do this with the Imperial Fist. 1 captain or chaplain. Yeah, I can do that. I've got a chaplain. 0 to 1 command squad. I haven't got a command squad, so don't, but it's 0 to 1 anyway. 3 tactical squads, yes. 1 assault squad, bike squad, attack bike squad, unit of land speeders, yes. 1 devastator or centurion devastator, yes. And 0 to 1 unit of dreadnoughts. I haven't got any dreadnoughts, but it's 0 anyway. Okay, so I've got this for nothing here. Objective secured. A unit with a special rule controls objective markers, even if an enemy scoring unit is within range of the objective marker, unless the enemy also has the special rule. Okay, so that's normal for a bound army. Tactical flexibility. If your army contains 1 or more battle demi companies, you can choose to enact the tactical doctrine once per game. When the doctrine is enacted, all models in your army with the chapter tactics rule that are part of a battle demi company are affected. Right, so what I think this is saying here is that special rule that you have, which for me is to reroll 1s with my bolter weapons, will in fact then apply. I can act it once a game. I can have that applied to all the units in this formation and all their weapons. So the land speeders with their multi-melters, type of missile launchers, they'll reroll 1s. The devastator Centurions, they'll reroll their 1s as well. So that's cool. Okay, surprised that I only glanced over that. Presuming I wouldn't be able to do it, but my Imperial Fist can take that formation, a battle demi company. Anti-air defense force. 1 unit of hunters, 1 unit of stalkers. You've got to have at least 2 of each. Sky Spear auto-targeting. If a hunter from this formation causes a hit, an enemy flyer or monstrous creature when firing a Sky Spear missile launcher, all stalkers in the formation have +1 to the ballistic skill to the end of the phase when firing at the same target unit. It's a little cool little bonus there for taking more of them. Interesting. And not too expensive, it's 70-75 points each. First Company Task Force. 3 to 5 units of Terminators, Assault Squads, Stern Guard or Vanguard. They get Fear and Fearless. Very, very good. And Extremis Level Threat. At the start of the game, before deployment, nominate 1 unit in the enemy army. Units in this formation of preferred enemy. Special rule when making attacks against the nominated unit. So they're out to hunt something in particular, and they gear up towards that. Terrifying proficiency. Enemy units subtract 2 from their leadership whilst within 12, at least 3 units from this formation. Easy one to forget, that little rule there. But Fear and Fearless, easy to remember. Cool. Strike Force Ultra. You have to have a captain, 2 Terminator squads, 2 Terminator assault squads, a Venerable, a Storm Raven, a Crusader and a Redeemer. Quite, yeah, that's going to dictate pretty much your army there. Captain has to have Terminator armour. They must be embarked on transport or placed into deep strike. Ultra Strike. All units in this formation must be placed in reserve. God. Make reserve rolls for all units from this formation at the start of your first turn. Make reserve rolls as normal for any units from this formation that do not arrive in your first turn. Alright, so they can turn up first turn. Fury of the Storm. When a Terminator squad from this formation arrives from deep strike, reserve, or disembarks from a transport vehicle from this formation for the first time, all ranged weapons carried by models in the unit add 1 to the number of shots they can make until the end of the turn. Okay. Force of a Thunderbolt. When a Terminator squad from this formation disembarks from a transport vehicle from this formation for the first time, all models in the unit add 1 to their attacks. So some bonuses there. You'd have to try and remember them. Don't forget them. Sometimes in the heat of the game you forget that little bonus rolls. I missed them. Reclusium Command Squad. There's a lot of formations now that you can take. There's some pretty cool ones. So 1 chaplain, 1 command squad. You have to take a Razorback, and the chaplain has to go to the command squad and cannot leave it during the battle. Quite restrictive. They'll get Crusader, and then all friendly units with the Space Marines faction within 6 of the chaplain can reroll failed to hit rolls during the first round of each combat. So stick them in the middle of other units, and then those units within 6, they will get his abilities. So that's quite good. 10th Company Task Force. This is for scouts. 3 to 5 units of scouts or scout bikes, and you can take telling if you want. You must give the bikes cluster mines. Concealed positions. Each unit from this formation that deploys using the infiltrate special rule and does not have the stealth special rule is concealed. A concealed unit has the stealth special rule until it moves, runs, turbo boosts, charges or falls back, at which point it immediately loses the stealth special rule for the rest of the battle. Okay, so you can start with stealth. And then the trap is sprung. During the first game turn, all units from this formation have precision shots. Not bad. Not bad. Right, then Storm Wing. This is the one that James needs to do here. 1 Storm Raven, 2 Storm Tans. Superb looking formation. Can't wait to see that fly onto the table. Data lattice. As long as at least 1 Storm Tan in this formation has not been completely destroyed, the formation Storm Raven Gunship has a strafing run. Cool. Very, very good. Escort craft. We're making reserve rolls. Make a single roll for this entire formation. On a successful reserves roll, all of the units in this formation arrive from reserves. They've tied it in so it all turns up at the same time. Very, very good. A Centurion Siege Breaker cohort. 2 to 4 Centurion assault squads and 1 unit of ironclad dreadnoughts. Nasty combination. Demolition specialist units from this formation, which contain a model with non-scope reroll failed armor penetration rolls against buildings and can choose to reroll glancing hits and attempt to instead get a penetrating hit, but the second result has to be kept. Okay, and then seismic devastation. If a building or transport vehicle loses at least its last hull point as a result of attacks made in the assault phase by models from this formation, any unit embarked in the building or vehicle immediately suffers 2d6 strength 6 AP 4 hits with ignores cover. The wounds are randomly allocated and are in addition to any hits that would normally suffer. Cool. So, quite good. As another formation, this is madness. Land Raider Spearhead. You have to take 3 of them. Any combination of regular Land Raiders, Crusaders or Redeemers. Armoured Behemoths. Models from this formation ignore crew shaken, crew stunned, weapon destroyed and immobilised, as long as they are within 6 of at least 1 other model from this formation when the roll is made. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Even the mightiest shellfall. Models in this formation can re-roll failed to wound rolls or armour penetration rolls when shooting at gargantuan creatures, super heavy vehicles or buildings that have the mighty bulwark. Special roll. Okay. Yeah, that's an incredible upgrade. Very, very good indeed. I'm sure there'll be some people happy with that. A Librarius Conclave. So 3 to 5 librarians. Empiric Channeling. At the start of your psychic phase, you can nominate 1 librarian from this formation. If you do this, nominated librarian has access to any psychic powers known by other librarians from this formation within 12 until the end of the phase. However, other librarians from this formation within 12 cannot manifest psychic powers until the end of the phase. Furthermore, when the nominated librarian makes psychic tests this phase, he will harness warp charge points and result of a 3+ rather than 4+. If there is 1 other librarian from this formation within 12, or 2+ rather than 4+ if there are 2 more librarians within 12. So, yeah, some real enhancements there for them. Oh, and it goes on. Armoured Strike Force now. 1 Tech Marine, 0 to 3 units of Thunderfire cannons, 3 to 5 units of any combination of Vindicators, Predators, Whirlwinds, and Kronos if you wish. Paragoric can't. Vehicles in this formation ignore the effects of crew shake and crew stunned results whilst within 6 of the Tech Marine or Tech Marine Gunner from this formation. Will of the Omniscia. Tech Marine and Tech Marine Gunners from this formation have +1 bonus when making blessings on the Omniscia rolls to repair vehicles. Right, okay, another bonus for them. Suppression Force. 1 unit of Whirlwinds, 1 unit of Land Speeders. You've got to have at least 2 in each. Data link telemetry, right, so these guys working together, that's cool. One land speeder from this formation can nominate an enemy unit within 18. In line of sight in its shooting phase. It cannot do this in the same turn it moves flat out. Until the end of the phase, all shooting attacks made with the Whirlwind multiple missile launchers by models in this formation against the nominated. I missed a word out there. In this formation against the nominated target can re-roll to hit and are treated as having an infinite range. So cool. So loads of options here as far as formations go, covering pretty much every type of unit. There's some formation that they can have. So you get your combat squads here. You can split down. Right, Warlord traits. So I'd be interested in this because I have the chaplain. So I may well roll on this table if it's decent enough. So Angel of Death, your Warlord has fear. Furthermore, enemy units locked in combat with the Warlord must take fear tests on 3d6. Right, okay, not bad. Imperium Sword, your Warlord and his unit have Furious Charge. Okay, that's pretty good. Iron Resolve, your Warlord has Feel No Pain. Okay, that's good enough, yeah. Storm of Fire. At the start of your shooting phase, each of your shooting phases, nominate one for any unit within 12 of your Warlord that is drawn from the same chapter as your Warlord. This unit's ranged weapons have Rending. Oh, wow. Until the end of the phase. Rending. Storm of Fire is cool. I think I'm going to be rolling on this table. Rights of War. All models in your Warlord's detachment can use his leadership in place of their own. All models in your Warlord's detachment. Well, if my chaplain's LD10, then every unit gets LD10. I think that's right. Cool. Your Warlord and all friendly units within 12 of your Warlord with a faction that is part of the armies of the Imperium must reroll Falcon Round Jacks, Pinning, and Fear. Right, so if you take allies, there's going to be a bonus there. So, as far as what traits tables go, that one's pretty good. I would be quite happy to roll on that one. Yeah. I don't think any of them are terrible, and there's a couple of very good ones. So you've got these chapter tactics. So combat doctrines here, you've got Ultramarines chapter tactics. So Imperial Fists, it's bolter drill. Imperial Fist models can reroll failed to hit rolls of 1 with bolt pistols, bolt guns, storm bolters, heavy bolters, combo weapons that are firing has bolt guns. This rule also applies, didn't used to firing Hellfire, Kraken, Vengeance or Dragonfire rounds. And then Siege Masters, Imperial Fist models can reroll arm penetration rolls against buildings, do not result in a glancing or penetrating hit, and +1 to the result when rolling on the building damage table. In addition, Imperial Fists, Devastator squads and Centurion Devastator squads have Tank Hunter. That's why I've gone for las cannons and the missile launchers. They're going to get Tank Hunter. So, I think that's, both of those are cool upgrades to have. Then you just got your weaponry here. No real big changes. Don't think. No, we've looked up some of these as we've gone along. Yeah, it's all quite standard. This would not have changed. Let's remain the same. Right, chapter relics. So, Armour Indomitus, and we'll just keep an eye on the cost of these as we go along as well. Because I found myself with some spare points because of the savings that have been made in New Codex, just with the cheapness of, or the points reduction, a few things, it's freed up some points. I may well have some points to spend on one of these. Armour Indomitus. The Armour Indomitus code has a 2+ armour save, 6+ invuln. Okay, so my chaplain's not going to need this. Once per game at the beginning of any phase, the wearer can choose to temporarily push the armour's force field to its limit. For the duration of the phase, you get a 2+ invuln. So that's cool, but I don't think the points cost is 60 points. Crazy. And that's silly money. Next one, Burning Blade. plus 3 strength. It's like a super relic blade. AP2, blind, incandescent. At the end of an assault phase in which the bearer made 1 or more to hit roll, roll d6 or 2+, nothing happens. On a roll of 1, you take a strength 4 AP2 hit. Okay, it's a decent enough trade-off for what you're getting. It's not two-handed, it's just melee. It's just a decent blade. I've got a feeling it's going to be expensive. Yeah, it's 55 points. Yeah, if you're going to give it to someone, don't give it to a guy with 2 attacks. It needs to go on a chapter master, for example, to make it worth the points. Primarch's rough. Range 24, strength 4, AP4, salvo 3 and 5, mastercrafted shred. Yeah, that's alright. 20 points for that. Okay. Shield Eternal is a storm shield. In addition, you get Adamantium Will and Eternal Warrior. 50 points for that. It's expensive. They've always been expensive for Space Marines, these upgrades. Standard of the Emperor Ascendant. A model equipped to the Standard of the Emperor Ascendant has Fear. In addition, friendly models drawn from the same chapter as a model equipped to the Standard of the Emperor Ascendant have +1 attack and Fearless whilst they're within 12. Now this is the upgrade that I thought I was going to go for. It will cost you 60 points. But I want you to see something here. A model equipped. And then look, in addition, friendly models, it's not units, friendly models drawn from the same chapter as a model equipped with 10% have +1 attack whilst they are within 12 inches of that model. It's not that unit. So you've actually got a, so you've got a unit, half the units within 12, only those figures, only those models that are within 12 are going to get the +1 attack. Fearless will count for the whole unit, only one model needs to have it, but only part of that unit is going to get attacked. You know, you've got to cluster right around to get to it. It's not that you can have one figure within 12 and then the rest of the unit will get that bonus. It's only models within 12. It's a bit of a... So I was a bit disappointed about that, because if you take a chapter banner, friendly units within 12, so you look, friendly units within 12 of a model, reroll failed morale pinning fear tests, and you'll get +1. In addition, all friendly models with the Space Marines faction in the same unit as the banner. Oh right, okay. So it's just within the unit you get the +1 attack. So it is better. A bit fiddly and a bit tricky having it within range of just the model, not the unit. But you know, possible option there to give that banner to say the chaplain or the Terminator Sergeant, if he's allowed to take relics. But I might give it to the chaplain. Somehow work it that he takes this banner. Perhaps I'm just going to grant some really good bonuses to the units surrounding him. Sort of have the Terminator unit, chaplain, then cluster the tactical squads and Centurions around it, and just have this bubble of fearless units and then extra attacks. I think is cool. So I'd say that's about one of the best options there. Last one, Teeth of Terror. It's +2 strength, AP3, it's concussive, rampage. So that's quite good, and that will cost you 35 points, which isn't quite so bad. You've got your tactical objectives there, and then your summary, just a 1-page summary at the back to make it 200 pages. Exactly. That's the review for the Codex. Lovely looking Codex there. I would say there's no major changes. There's a slight points cost reduction I've noticed. My army's cheaper than it was, and I've been able to get the army that I've been wanting to get without squeezing points too much, which is good. One of the main things I've noticed is these upgrades for taking these squadrons. These units are free with the vehicles and so on. There's some bonuses there if you go down that route. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. It's a nice looking Codex. I think it's enhanced Marines, I reckon, making them just that bit more better, definitely. But leave your comments, what kind of configurations and combinations you go for. You know, I'll see the comments, others reading the comments will be helped and be interested to see that as well. I've got this codex from gamingfigures.com, as I said, 15% off, and then an extra 5% off if your order comes to over £100, and there's free delivery for those of you in the UK as well. So that's the review for Space Marines Codex. Keep a lookout for the Imperial Fist army as it comes along. Advanced Tactica videos are out on the StrikingScorpion82 Plus channel. You'll see the army build up there, and then keep a lookout for battle reports in the future as well. But there it is, Space Marines Codex. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time.